And here are the crews lining up on the start. We're particularly interested in this Estonian quad, still looking to qualify, with Tonu Edriksson sat in the centre of the boat, the 44-year-old, looking to try and make it to his 6th Olympic Games.
Okay, so here's the Romanians. Ion Prudenau was in the double in Tokyo in the stroke seat on the left of your picture, just saying, come a bit towards us. 31-year-old. Switzerland, well, they have qualified Marin Langer from the Lucerne canton in the stroke seat of that boat. Giacomo Gentili with his cap set back as normal. Fast starters, but have been rowed through in the second part of races here. What will they produce in this event? Well, there's the boat with the big man. I'm sure we'll look at Tonu Hendrickson down the course and talk more about him. There are the British Graham Thomas in this rejuvenated British quad in the stroke seat. The Agecroft rower, 35 years of age, but these men are on fire here. Fabian Baranski from Roklavec in the stroke seat, 2022 world champions. It is the Polish European board member, Richard Stadniok, down to do the medal ceremony for this as well.
Well, that's interesting. The Polish board member is out here and ready to give out the medals. You can see the crew's not quite ready to go yet. It looks like it's got a bit more windy up at the start and just a few adjustments needed as you see the bows getting pushed into those shoes that hold the bows in place.
Yeah, look round from the Estonian bowman, Mikhail Kushtin, the 24-year-old. Was in this quad that finished 8th last year, just out of qualification.
You see those Perspex shoes that hold the bows in position. All the boats positioned in them now. As we've said to you before, the lanes have been reallocated. It's the Polish and the British on this side of the course, so you'd normally see in the centre lanes. So the crews are being called forward now. Well, it was another quite long hold, but all the crews got away smoothly. The Polish at the bottom here, world champions back in 2022, as we're taking a look at those Estonians, Martin.
I thought they got out quick on the first stroke, but not as quick as the Polish. Big question for me this season is, can this Polish quad step on and take on the Dutch? And you know, they are an amazing crew. They were world champions, coached by Alex Wojciechowski. And the speed they looked at in the heat, Greg, I thought this is a class crew. Now, they've got to beat Britain by a decent margin, but at the moment, well, it's pretty close, isn't it? And who's thriving out there in front?
It's
wow.
the Swiss up there,
the Swiss
who
right
looked really
there.
solid, the way they were locking on with their shoulders, really getting hold of it early, making a big statement there. 33 strokes a minute, it's not 43 strokes a minute, it's not particularly high. It's the more smooth style of Giacomo Gentili and those Italians, and more an aggressive, abrasive-looking style almost from the Swiss who've got the early lead.
To be fair to Giacomo, he doesn't know any other way to race, that lad. He'll just take it out and he'll just go for it, and, you know, you just try and catch me. There are the Estonians in the stroke seat, Johan Puluk, 26, but behind him, there's the big man, Tonu Hendrickson. He said in May there is the Olympic qualification in Lucerne. The moment of truth will come. Will the 44-year-old who won a silver medal in Athens with Yuri Janssen in the double scull, will he make his 6th Olympic Games? There he is. You can see him just one back from the stroke man. And it's not like they're just a young crew, because Ala Rahau is 40 years old behind him, Greg.
Yeah, the 40-year-old two-man, 44-year-old three-man, but the race is in danger of getting away from them, because the Italians over there on that far side have made a wonderful start, looking pretty smooth over the top of the water, 40 strokes a minute, pretty similar to the rest of the field. It's only the Estonians who are down at 36, and that's not helping them.
Yeah, it's a fantastic scull from the Swiss, coached, of course, by the New Zealander Ian Wright, Dominic Condro, Jan Plokchek, Scott Beerlocker, Marin Langer. And there's the Estonians.
It looks relatively smooth, doesn't it? But even in this headwind, I'm not quite sure that's what they need to be doing. The race is in danger of getting away from them here.
They've just come off a training camp in Zabaudia, just south of Rome, the Estonians, so they probably feel good. But I tell you what, where's this Swiss squad found that pace from? It's looking so impressive for the boys in red there. A lot of power through the middle of the stroke. They're up with the Italians. Well, I'd say that's all right lane to have, particularly on the far side. Yeah, we've reallocated these lanes, as we're saying all day. It's a wind which is swirling around. It certainly doesn't look too bad on that far side of the course. You'd say where the Swiss came from. They're unchanged from their lineup last year that was 5th at the World Championships. Got 4th place in Varese, so no surprise for them to be up here and in amongst it in the A final. Estonians at the back of the field. There's the Italians out in the front. They tend to run out of gas as we come into the third quarter, and then they find something magical, something extra. We saw one of their crew, I think it was Andrea Panazzo or Nicolo Carucci, throw himself to an almost unconscious state in the World Championships last year, where they picked up a silver medal. Well, we've closed in there looking at that Polish bow that I think is making a move in the right direction. They've started closing up this gap on the early starters from the far side of the course. We're looking now at this Polish double there, the high quad, their highest rating. You can see it, 40 strokes a minute, 41 strokes a minute they were touching, but the rest of the field's responding. Yeah, will this Polish quad, well, it's a higher rating style than the Polish crew that won in 2008 in Beijing. Wasisewski, Kolowicz, Jelensky and Adam Korol, who's here as the president of the Polish Rowing Federation. There's the Polish stroke man just setting the pace. Fabian Baranski from Wrocław. The Polish are taking the British with them, but the Italians still out there. This is going to be an incredible row if Giacomo Gentili can take this crew to a gold medal. I tell you, we'll see some celebrations if they stay in front of the Swiss. Well, I think a length of a quad is a long way to make up in 500 metres, but that's what the Polish or the British are going to have to do if they're to make it to the top of the podium. I could see them closing up on the Swiss. The Swiss look pretty hard in their shoulders. I can imagine they're going to be hurting from their effort in the first 500, but I can't see the Italians losing this lead they've got now. Little cool look across from Giacomo there as he sees the Polish closing on the Swiss. They're bringing the British with them. The British have still got a lot to do if they're going to get into the medals. The Swiss, they've hung on, they've rowed so bravely. Well, you say that about the British. They've made that change of bringing Graham Thomas into the stroke seat from the crew that was 4th at the World Championships last year. They'll be hoping to improve on that. It's boat 5. It's closing up to put pressure on a medal, but that Italian crew still holding on. It's still more than half a length with 2:50 to go. Oh. Surely no one can get through them now. This is going to be like the World Championship. They're going to be dying, the Italians. Look at Giacomo Gentili. He's sculled so hard. He's looking across to his left, to his right. He can see the Swiss. He can see the Poles. Come on, Giacomo. Can you just hold it off? Poland ahead of Great Britain for that all-important medal place. Well, that picture we saw of this stroke man, Giacomo Gentili, his arms didn't look like they were quite getting straight. He's had them sort of 3/4 bent, but this is enough to hold on coming down towards the line. The Swiss have responded. The Swiss have found plenty. The Polish have found plenty. The British are coming, but I still think the Italians have got it here, Martin. It is Italy, stroke by Giacomo Gentili. A brilliant race from Italy. They crossed the line. Amazing silver from Switzerland. Bronze for the Poles. They were my favourites to take this race. Britain have to settle for 4th place, Romania in 5th. The Estonians with the veteran back in 6th place, but that is a magical row. Well, he's the glamour boy, Giacomo Gentili, but we must mention Nicolo Carucci, the big man on the ergometer, Andrea Panizza providing the power in the middle of the race, and Luca Chiamento from the Fiamma Gialli Club. I didn't expect to see that, Greg. No, well, those crews on the far side of the course got a great start. We see it here in this picture. We're having a look at the maturity of Hendriksson sitting in that 3-seat of the Estonian boat. The race got away from them. They will have to bring it on for the final qualifying regatta. This Polish crew that you were comparing to that great Polish quad that won back, it was in Athens or Beijing? Beijing. Who's that we're talking about?
The Polish quad.
Polish quad won in Beijing.
That used to sit at 36 strokes a minute, but that's not good enough for now. It needs more. It needed that rate and needed that aggression, really, which the Italians showed early, that bravery. And you saw the Italians held on there to win the gold medal ahead of Switzerland. Poland only getting the bronze today.
Please join us for the national anthem of Italy. A győztes csapat tiszteletére hallgassuk meg Olaszország legjobb.